This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Monday, June 1, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Tech ETF, the technology sector surged 2.23% in after-hours, outperforming energy, the energy sector minus 1.16%, amid mixed global macro data and earnings-driven momentum. IBM gained 9.4% pre-market on quantum computing partnership with Honeywell, while MicroStrategy dropped 4.8% as CEO Saylor continues Bitcoin sales. Let's start with the scores. Pulse, you had a 51% accuracy rate, good but not great. Grid, 51%, same story. CIPHER, 52%, that's solid. SPECTER, you're at 44%, so you need to step it up. Apex, you're at 51%, not bad, but not stellar either. I'm not thrilled with 51, but I'll take it. I missed the rotation in tech. I was too focused on energy.
I'm okay with 51. I didn't see the divergence in volume between IWM and SPY.
I've been on a streak. I nailed the earnings-driven moves like HKIT and STG. I'll keep pushing the fundamentals.
I was wrong on SPY. I called bearish, but it just flatlined. I need to focus more on sector rotations and less on broad indices.
I'm not even going to mention my track record. I've been too cautious. I'll be more aggressive on the tech plays this time.
The big picture, Tech ETF, the technology sector surged 2.23% after hours, while energy, the energy sector, fell 1.16%. SPY closed at $756.48, Triple Q at $738.31, and IWM underperformed at $290.43. The VIX is at 15.32, and the 10-year 2-year yield spread is at plus 0.47 pp, still flat. Let's dive in. Let's start with the tech sector. The technology sector is leading the charge. Pulse, what's your read on sentiment?
The sentiment is cautiously optimistic. Tech is outperforming, but energy is under pressure. The VIX is stable, so no panic, but the rotation is clear.
Grid, what's the technical picture on the technology sector?
The technology sector is at $191.02, up 2.23% today. The 10-day range is $189-$193, and it's testing the upper end. A break above $193 would be a strong signal.
CIPHER, what's the fundamental story here?
Tech is benefiting from earnings momentum and innovation. IBM's 9.4% gap up on quantum computing is a big catalyst. MicroStrategy's drop is due to Bitcoin selling, but the tech sector is still strong.
SPECTER, what's your contrarian take?
I see a risk in the tech rally. The sector is overextended after a 6.95% weekly gain. The flat yield curve and elevated inflation are headwinds. I think a pullback is coming.
Apex, how do you synthesize this?
Grid sees support at $193, CIPHER points to earnings momentum, and SPECTER warns of overextension. The technicals are strong, but the fundamentals are mixed. It's a tough call, but the tech sector is still the place to be.
Let's dig into the technology sector. It's at $191.02, up 2.23% today. SPECTER, you challenged the tech rally. What's your take?
I think the rally is overblown. The sector is at $191, and the 10-day high is $193. If it breaks that, I'll reconsider, but I still see risks.
But the 10-day range is tight and the volume is strong. A break above $193 would be a strong signal. I think the technicals back a continued move higher.
And the fundamentals are solid. IBM's quantum computing partnership is a big catalyst. The sector is still in a strong earnings phase.
That's true, but the macro backdrop is not supportive. The 10-year 2-year is flat, and inflation is still above 2%. I don't see that changing soon.
Sentiment is still cautiously optimistic. The fear index is at 15.32, which suggests complacency. But the tech rally is still strong.
So grid sees support at $193. CIPHER points to fundamentals and SPECTER warns of overextension. It's a tight call, but the momentum is there.
Now let's look at the energy sector. It's at $56.29, down 1.16% today. CIPHER, what's the fundamental story?
Energy is under pressure. The sector is down 4.8% this week. The global macro data is mixed, and the rotation toward tech is hurting energy.
Sentiment is more bearish here. The fear index is stable, but the sector is underperforming. Investors are moving away from energy.
The technicals are weak. The energy sector is at $56.29 near its 10-day low of $55.50. A break below that could signal further weakness.
I agree. The sector is in a downtrend. The flat yield curve and elevated inflation are headwinds. I think the energy sector is still a sell.
Apex, how do you synthesize this?
CIPHER points to fundamentals, Pulse to sentiment, and SPECTER to technicals. The energy sector is under pressure, but the fundamentals are still mixed.
Now let's look at SPY. It's at $756.48, up 0.25% today. Grid, what's your technical take?
SPY is within its 10-day range of $731.53 $758.08. The close at $756.48 is near the upper end. A break above $758.08 would be a strong signal.
Sentiment is still cautiously optimistic. The fear index is at 15.32, and the broader market is showing modest gains.
Fundamentals are mixed. The Fed is still hawkish, but the economy is holding up. Earnings season is coming, which could drive further gains.
I'm still cautious. The yield curve is flat and the macro data is mixed. I think SPY is at a critical level, and a break above $758.08 could be a long-term move.
So grid sees support at $758.08. CIPHER points to fundamentals, and SPECTER warns of macro risks. It's a tight call, but the technicals are strong.
SPECTER, you challenged grid read on the technology sector. Let's dig into that.
I think the tech rally is overblown. The 10-day range is tight, but the fundamentals are not strong enough to support the rally. I think a pullback is coming.
But the technicals are strong. The technology sector is at $191.02, and the 10-day range is $189.193. A break above $193 would be a strong signal.
And the fundamentals are solid. IBM's quantum computing partnership is a big catalyst. The sector is still in a strong earnings phase.
That's true, but the macro backdrop is not supportive. The 10-year 2-year is flat, and inflation is still above 2%. I don't see that changing soon.
Sentiment is still cautiously optimistic. The fear index is at 15.32, which suggests complacency. But the tech rally is still strong.
So grid sees support at $193. CIPHER points to fundamentals, and SPECTER warns of overextension. It's a tight call, but the momentum is there.
My 24-hour call. The technology sector bullish. Target $193 by next session.
My 24-hour call, triple Q bullish, target $741.63 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $195 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bearish, target $190 by next session.
My 24-hour call, the technology sector bullish, target $193 by next session.
The consensus is that tech is still the place to be, but there are risks. The technology sector is the key symbol, with a tight call between bullish and bearish. What to watch tomorrow? The tech sector and the yield curve. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only. not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.